Hey people, welcome back to my channel. This is Lario. Today I have a little work to do on the car. Let me get myself a little bit more comfortable here. Guess what? My wife, she kept complaining about the radio, that she rather would like to see something like dual dim with touchscreen. So I ended up looking up online. I did find one for a decent price, and I tried to look at the Kenwoods. They were a little bit pricey, but considering the economy right now and my finances, I could not go that way to get a Kenwood. They were like $3-4 bills. So I ended up getting this one, which is a Boss BV765BLC, as you can see here. This is going to be a quick review, and I'm going to be installing this radio, so you guys are going to accompany me on this install. So right now I already cracked it open. Yeah, as you can hear the train right over me, right? I already cracked it open, so plus I bring some things that I'm going to need. Shrink wrap, some tape. Now this thing, I'll put this to the side. Now this thing does come with a backup camera, and it also supports Bluetooth. Let's see, I'll open this thing up. Yeah, we're gonna discuss this in a moment. This is for the backup camera, which I may not install it. It looks pretty decent, but I may not install it. Okay, so we got some installation, the wiring, some metal brackets. Okay, the instruction manual, which I already looked at it, and it's pretty good. It'll serve its purpose. It's not like a Kenwood. I was a little bit disappointed by some things that it didn't have, which means I paid like what was it, a little over $150 for the radio, and received it yesterday on a Sunday, which it was quite good. It also comes with a remote control. I don't know whether I'm going to be using that now. Okay, give me a second, let me pull it out of the bag. Voila. Oh, it's upside down. Now let's go back to the box for a minute. There was something that actually caught my attention that I wish companies would just be a little bit more into detail. See down here, so I could get the camera to focus on okay, see that it says SD? I actually thought it was actually an SD, but it's micro SD. So if the companies are watching, at least put a little micro on top, so this way people know, because this is a little bit deceiving just to see that the SD. I went and bought a 32 gigabyte SD for it, and which that's what this supports. It supports only maximum 32 gigabyte. It does not support anything bigger. So when it arrived, I ended up looking around my house. I found a 16 gigabyte, which I ended up installing. I dropped in some music. My music files extend past the 20s. I think it's like 25 gigabytes. So I had to be a little bit picky on the music. But also another thing that in details was that this faceplate, as you can see here, does not come off the radio. So do keep that in mind if you're actually thinking about buying one. And trust me, I'm gonna go into plenty of details, and then we're gonna do the install, which I was a little bit disappointed on that, because on my radio I could actually remove it and take this piece home, right? Which is this part right here. I could take that home, and it'll discourage anybody looking through the windows, and they'll see that there's nothing there. It's just a radio without a faceplate. Now, but this one is totally different. Now, I already tried out the radio in the house. It did sound good. It has an equalizer. It does have the Bluetooth, which also connects to your phone. I heard that application is a little bit sketchy. I'm not really interested in the CDs. So that's a rear camera, the AVN, or yeah, inputs, and the USB, which the USB also is right here. Now let me see if I could get this thing open. There it is. Let's see, get a little bit of lighting in here. Okay, all right. Now if you see right underneath the knob, if you look carefully right there, that's the micro SD card. You see that little slot? You can barely see it. Let's see if I could get this thing to focus. Getting it a little bit too close. All right. Plus it's got an input auxiliary, the USB, which I may end up using this because I got a 32 gigabyte right here, which is connected right down to the radio, right with an extension. Other than that, I ended up choosing this one because of all what I could connect to it. It's just, if you notice carefully here, I could install the amp, and more than likely I'll be able to install a second amp. Later on, I'm gonna end up replacing the stock amp that this car has, which is located right underneath the passenger seat. So this way I could utilize the 4-channel amp that's running in the back right now, and I'll get a second amp with 2 channels for the subs, which that's I'm trying to keep my system down to below look at this train coming by, man. This is incredible. All right, so I'm trying to keep my system below the 3000 watts with the 2 amps that I have in mind, with the one that I got, and the next one, which I'll try to keep her down to 2000 amps or 2000 watts, basically, not amps. Wow, I'll be lighting up a whole city with 2000 amps. But yeah, I'm gonna be working on that later on. But first, we're gonna remove that one, and then we're gonna install this one. I have to do the wiring to remove the aftermarket wiring that's installed with this radio, so this way I could adapt it to this one. But as you can see, there's plenty of connections here. Video in, it does have subwoofers, amp outs, and also for the camera in, line in. There's a connection right here. It's a wiring, I just threw it to the side somewhere. But this is what I'm actually looking at, also making sure that I could fit my brackets, my factory brackets, which there's somewhere in the back. I could install them. And another thing, my brother-in-law, he went and bought one, I believe it was from JVC. He bought one, and I don't know what he did. He tried to do what I was doing, with the installation of radios. And if you could see, mine is perfectly lined up with the entire face. His install was all recessed, like he just threw it in there. I did see that it was firmly set, so more than likely he threw in some screws, but that's also another thing that I'm going to be looking at. Oof, this is going to be a tight fit. Yeah, it is. Measuring it, oh yeah, it is going to be a tight fit. I may have to actually remove the bezel, this bezel right here. Actually have to remove it. All right, give me a second, people. Let me start gathering my tools to see what is it I'm going to be looking at. Okay, all right. It doesn't look bad. Let's just see how it sounds with both amps, with the stock amp and the aftermarket. All right, I'll be back. Okay, I totally forgot one thing though. Okay, this is the backup camera, which actually looks pretty good, considering the wiring. From what I understand, this wire only extends about 4 feet. That's why you saw the secondary wiring, which I bring. At least this wiring is 4 feet long, but that's 4 feet times 3. I'll be able to separate the wiring, you know, just pull them apart. And you imagine 4 feet times 3, that's 12 feet. So that'll be more than enough to do from here all the way around and over the column, which is gonna be ending up back in the back of the car. So here, let's take a look at the camera. The camera here, I got some styrofoam bagging. It doesn't look that bad. It looks a little bit better than other cameras that I've seen, you know, aftermarkets. But they didn't mark it as far as being which way is up. Is it this way or is it that way? We'll figure it out once I install it, which there's a possibility that I will not, because there'll be more wiring that I got to worry about. The lane in the back also, that who knows if I might have to actually puncture the metal of the car to actually get the wiring through. But all right, let's get this thing going. All right, let's put this to the side. The wiring, my wife, she's with me today, but she's just stepped into the market. I may have to disconnect the camera. Oh, in case if I didn't mention that, it's this camera right here, which is a dash cam, which I installed on the car, on my car. Let's see if I could get this thing going. Fixed up nicely. Okay. All right. First things first is the screws. There's just one under here. As you can see, the screwdriver. Which I may have to turn off the car to actually work with the wiring, because I don't really like the idea of doing wiring while the car is on, or working with any electrical system. The car recently, she passed inspection. I was gonna do a short video on that because of oh man, I can't get that other screw. Okay, give me a second, we'll be right back. Okay, now I just removed the front cover. This is a pain in the ass, because right now I got, you can see here, this is the USB, the 3.0 that's right here. So that's connected to the rear of this radio, and trying to get around this so this way I could pull the radio out and disconnect it, and then I could toss that to the side. Cannot lose those screws. Okay, last one, and this radio is about to come out. All right, okay, put that to the side. Let me turn off the car, so this way I can easily pull everything out. Whoa. And disconnect the USB, so this way I could throw that cover in the back. It won't be in my way. I did love this radio. I ain't got no complaints over the Alpine. I found it to be better than Kenwood and Pioneer, but my wife, as you already know, complaining about the dual DIN. That's what she wants him to see in the car, just because my brother-in-law went and got one. So, but I don't mind. It's my car. She also is gonna enjoy the way it looks. She actually was confusing it with a Bose radio, because it says BOSS. Don't get confused, people. It's Boss, not Bose. But let's get back to it. Okay, now this is the wiring I got to work with, which is really not much. I'll disconnect it here. This is the aftermarket plug right here. is. And disconnect the amp, which this is the factory amp plug right here. So this thing is really not focusing. What's going on? Okay, now see if we can throw that to the side. Okay, blue wire, which a matter of fact, I'm happy that I really don't have to do a lot of wiring. It's just the power, because as you notice, this is the aftermarket amp connector right here. This is what you could end up buying for this Mitsubishi Eclipse. It's a 2000 model, which I forgot totally to mention that, guys. I'm sorry. All right, the wifey is back. Let me throw some of this stuff to the rear. Okay, she wanted to go shopping, so in the meantime, while she shops, I work on the car. I'll be right back, people. I'll be right back. Okay, so I started doing the wiring. Excuse me. Yeah, I got some work here to do. As you can hear, the radio is already on with both amps, the stock and the aftermarket, which I gotta take off this peel tape with the protectors. Doesn't sound that bad. I gotta work with the equalizer and check to see if it has anything else interesting in it. Now the bezel, like I already sensed, the bezel, I had to remove it, so this way I could get proper alignment of the radio with the panels. You can see. Let me see if I can take this tape off. The radio, it doesn't sound that bad, yeah, this thing is really no nail here. There it goes. It's coming off. Was coming off. There it is. Now, let's put something interesting here. I think I went back to the beginning. What is this? Well, the screen is it's obvious it's responsive. Put this one on. Yeah, I knew it was gonna come out messed up. It's at 16 gigabyte. But that should have done it. Yeah, it came out broken. Yeah, came out broken again. So I'm gonna have to get a 32 gigabyte for this. It's just that right now this song is broken up, like if there's static in it, just because it's really overloaded with music. And it's let me put something else on. Yeah, this one came out fine. All right, let's get back to the wiring. I use the stock amp connected, kill this music. Hold on. All right. The aftermarket wiring, I still had to use it because of the power, which I have to also tape this one up, the yellow one. Give me a second. I didn't have no choice but to use it just to avoid stripping unnecessary wiring, which I already ended up doing because of the work that I'd done previously with this car and that last radio that I just took out, which is the Alpine. Yeah, seems like my brother-in-law's in the area now. He's got a barber shop. So it's kind of early today. I woke up too early. It's like 9:30 in the morning. All right, there it goes again. Come on, stay there. It's got the mute. This is also mute. That's pretty neat. All right. Now, you can see this is the wiring for the factory amp, which is this plug right here. This wiring. Now this one, this set right here, I originally excuse the cough, but I originally purchased this set right here so this way I can have two separate amps. Right now the subwoofer amp is connected, and I think she's ready to go. There was this, you know, which I have to watch all these wirings, these loose ones right here. They've been spliced by the factory, the manufacturer of the radio. So I'm looking for any loose wiring that I might have left. You have this 1 and 2 here, which was from the test that I did. So I gotta tape those two up. And I ran into a problem when I was looking for the brackets, the factory brackets. I only found one, so I'm gonna get into that in a minute because I'm gonna need that for this radio. Okay, I'll tape that up. See, they're split up, and I could set her in there, but okay, I found one bracket. This is the factory bracket right here, this one, which actually goes in this position, like so, and the other one is missing, is MIA. I gotta look for it. Okay, yeah, I know I'm trying to speed up my installation here so this way I can have the radio up and running, which it already is. It's just that I found this bracket, but I have this one which is missing, and that's the one. Plus I wanted to try out the fitment to make sure to see if it will be flush, and it's not. It's like a ½ inch raised above this panel right here, but I think that'll be just fine as long as it's not recessed too far in, and it looks pretty good from what I'm seeing here. Let me get some focus. She sounds pretty good. It's just that I gotta adjust the bass, and this isn't just in kilos. I didn't have it there, did I? No. I was looking for one. But yeah, instead of just fooling around, okay, let me put this one. All right, that's what it's looking like so far, which I'm gonna have to go back into the trunk and look around inside the toolbox. I believe that's where it's at. It's kind of odd because these brackets, you just cannot miss them once you. And also I'm looking for the screws. All right, I'll be right back. Let me find everything else that I need so we can finish this setup. Okay, we got lucky. Well, I got lucky. I found the second bracket. I had to take a few things out of the trunk. Now, as you can see, that's the factory brackets with an aftermarket radio. And you can see that's the ½ inch clearance that I was talking about. But get this wire out of the way. I want to try out the panel. Anyway, I think it'll be all right. Let's grab the panel, put it over it just momentarily, and pull this thing out. I gotta see how am I gonna do this. Okay, got that. Okay. Oh, great. Used give me a second. I'm trying to get this USB cable out of the way. All right. See now, which I'm gonna find it quite odd that I cannot use. I had to pull out that this little Jimmy here, which is what provided all the music for my Alpine, which is USB 3.0. As you can see, the blue socket. Let's get a little closer look. There, 3.0. So, shall we? All right. I haven't finished installing the screws yet, but I just want to get more or less of an idea of what I'm looking at here, if this looks okay or not. Wires are in my way. I'll put them in here for now. Put that one in there for now. And see, doesn't look that bad. Okay, how's that look? Look all right? Doesn't look that bad. It's just that I rather preferred it if it was more flush, but where did I put my key? Turn on accessories. Looks pretty good, right? Agree. Actually, she shouldn't even be going through that agree. Oh, okay. She did put the music back to where I last left off, which it was in this song. Equalizer. Sounds pretty good, right? Yeah, okay. All right, people, I'm just gonna finish up over here. I got to connect my voltage indicator, which the wiring is back there. Then I got an ugly hole here. I'm gonna find something to put in there. Probably USB. Well, actually, yeah, I could put this thing right back in there. Who knows? I'll figure out something. But thank you for joining me, which I still have to do, one or two things in here, as far as connecting this, connecting my voltage indicator, the emergency hazards, and put the two screws, and I think that it's a wrap. But not even done yet. I gotta put the screws. Hey, I'm over here poking the radio with the screwdriver. This is not good, not a good thing. All right. I'm just gonna place them there. I'm not gonna really tighten them up because I gotta either adjust. Well, I think we could really tighten them up. And I work with the bottom screws. Okay. Okay, that one. And this one. See, this is where I kept emphasizing on previous videos. During the installation, you see how stiff this thing doesn't even move. It doesn't move at all. So this is why I kept emphasizing on trying to get the stock brackets that come with this car if you don't have them, because this is one situation where it benefits you because you cannot remove this. And Nice. Well, all right, what else we got to do here? Oh, I got to connect this thing up. All right, see if I can. All right, give me a second, people, so I could connect this. Voltage indicator, which one is positive? Positive. Voltage hazards, which is straightforward connection here. All right. Okay, 2 bottom screws. Where are you? See, and then the last but not least is these 2 screws here, which I already connected the hazards and my voltage indicator. I think we're like nearly done here. Just now I gotta pick up the mess that I left in the back seat before the wifey comes, because more than likely she wants to continue shopping. We're actually doing grocery shopping out of all things. Making sure that we got some food in the fridge. All right. Okay, so we're good to go. Yeah, you saw how quick it turned on? It's pretty good. It's gonna do well. It's not bad. Not bad. Now, I was a little bit disappointed on one thing, that it didn't have no GPS, you know, maps and, you know, stuff like that. So yeah, it is what it is. Got Bluetooth. I haven't connected the Bluetooth as yet, but sounds pretty good. All right, people, thank you for coming back to my channel. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. You know, I do get a, you know, a few questions here and there, and trust me, I do get to you. Yeah, this is a straightforward job. As you saw, all I had to do was use the same wiring, you know, the aftermarket wiring for the video, and as you saw, everything's good. Sounds pretty good. All right, thank you. Please subscribe to support my channel. Remember, if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I'm always there. All right, people, thank you. Enjoy. We're out of here.